Have you ever taken a bite of fresh pineapple only to feel that sharp, almost burning sensation on your tongue? That tingling sting that makes you wince just a little, but somehow keeps you coming back for more? It's a question that's puzzled snackers for decades. You might think it's some kind of trick of nature, a chemical defense, or maybe even a warning from the pineapple itself. Today we're diving into the science behind why pineapple stings your tongue, and why, oddly enough, it's completely harmless. But the answer isn't a villainous plot. It's biochemistry. Specifically, it all comes down to an enzyme called bromelain. So, let's get into it, right here, on History of Simple Things. Bromelain is a mixture of proteolytic enzymes. That's a fancy way of saying it's a protein-digesting enzyme. Think of it as tiny molecular scissors floating inside the pineapple. Its job in the fruit is actually quite practical. It helps the pineapple break down proteins. In nature, this allows the fruit to decompose other plant material, or even tiny insects that come into contact with it. For us humans, it's responsible for that signature sting. When you bite into pineapple, bromelain starts cutting up the proteins in your mouth. And yes, that includes the proteins on the surface of your tongue and inside your cheeks. Normally, enzymes do their work invisibly, inside the stomach or in food preparation. But pineapple is unusual because we're consuming it raw, and the enzymes are still very active. That's why you get that tingling, almost burning sensation. Bromelain is literally slicing through the proteins in your mouth. Now, before you panic and think you're damaging your tongue, let's be clear. This sensation is temporary. Your mouth is lined with cells that renew constantly, and the effect of bromelain is mild enough that it doesn't cause any real harm. It's more like a gentle exfoliation than an injury. The sting fades quickly, usually within a few minutes, leaving your taste buds perfectly intact. Interestingly, bromelain is also the reason why pineapple can't be used in some recipes without altering the texture. Ever tried making a gelatin dessert with fresh pineapple? Chances are the gelatin wouldn't set. That's because bromelain is still active and breaks down the gelatin's protein structure, preventing it from firming up. Canned or cooked pineapple doesn't have this problem because heat deactivates the enzyme. That's why pie fillings, jams, and canned fruit work just fine. Bromelain loses its protein-cutting power once it's heated. But bromelain isn't just a troublemaker. It's actually incredibly useful. For centuries, it's been used in traditional medicine for its anti-inflammatory and digestive properties. Some studies suggest that it can help reduce swelling, improve digestion, and even aid in healing minor injuries. So that same enzyme giving you a tongue sting could also be a health booster when consumed in moderation. Back to that sharp sensation. It's not only due to the enzyme's action. Pineapple also contains a high concentration of citric acid. This naturally occurring acid adds tartness to the fruit and can slightly irritate sensitive tissues in your mouth. When you combine the protein-cutting action of bromelain with the acidic bite, your taste buds are in for a double whammy. That's why some people describe eating fresh pineapple as both a sweet and slightly painful experience. There are ways to reduce the sting if it's too intense. One simple trick is to sprinkle a bit of salt or sugar on your pineapple before eating it. The salt can help neutralize some of the acidity, while sugar can coat the tongue and give the enzymes less immediate contact with proteins. Another method is to pair pineapple with dairy products like yogurt or cream. The proteins in milk can buffer bromelain's effect, protecting your tongue from being cut up. Pineapple upside-down cake is a classic example. Between the cooking process and the sugar, the sting is completely gone. For those who are particularly sensitive, some fruits in the same botanical family can have similar effects. Pineapple is a tropical bromeliad, and while bromelain is unique to pineapple, other fruits with high acidity or certain enzyme activity, like kiwi or papaya, can create a comparable tingling or slight burning sensation. But pineapple is definitely the star when it comes to that immediate, noticeable sting. It's also interesting to note how the texture of pineapple contributes to this experience. Pineapple is fibrous, with stringy segments that can scrape along your tongue. When combined with the enzymatic activity, it's almost like the fruit is giving your mouth a gentle exfoliation treatment. So in a way, the sting is nature's way of giving your tongue a little workout. Another fascinating detail is that the ripeness of the pineapple affects the intensity of the sting. Less ripe pineapples have higher levels of bromelain, which means they can feel more intense when eaten. Overripe pineapple may have slightly lower activity because the fruit naturally breaks down some of the enzymes as it matures. This might explain why some bites feel sharper than others, even from the same fruit. So, the next time you bite into a fresh, juicy pineapple and feel that sting, remember, it's the fruit's little enzymatic gift. Your tongue might tingle, your taste buds might feel a bit raw, but it's all part of the pineapple experience. That sting is nature's design, a combination of protein-digesting enzymes and acidic zest working together to create the unique sensory profile that makes pineapple one of the most memorable fruits on the planet. And in case you're worried, it's completely safe. There's no permanent damage to your tongue, no hidden side effects, just a fleeting, peculiar sensation that signals you're enjoying fresh pineapple at its purest. It's nature's way of reminding you that sometimes the things that make us wince are also the things that make life, or fruit, exciting. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.